maybe need to open that. Okay. Where's my chat? Did I lose my chat? Did I not? Oh, wait. I might have lost my chat. How did I do that? Let me open it. There, 1 second. Alright, guys. Whoops. Restream. I thought I opened chat. I guess it closed on me. Let's see here. Sorry, one moment, anybody that's coming in or watching me. I didn't set up a chat room, so I thought I had, but I guess not. Let me see here. Now we should have a chat room, hopefully. Looks like I have viewers. Let me get that chat up so I can see it. Let's see if it's working on my end. You want a foot, baby girl? My bulldog's underneath the desk. She's looking for a foot. I can tell. She's like moving her chin around, looking for a foot to set her chin on. She's such an old lady. So it looks like my chat is working. I don't know. How's your chat, girl? Hey, Lisa. Chat is open. We are open for business. I am super tired. Can I tell you guys a little bit about my night? I'm going to share a little bit while we wait for the room to fill up. I went into a YouTube hole last night. I have been watching people on YouTube. Hey, Mona Hartling, how are you? I'm not usually a YouTube. This YouTube thing to me is new. I like the platform a lot. I think it's super fun. I'm excited about it. I've been kind of at it for a year. I'm very new to it. I consider myself super new to it. But anyways, I was watching it last night. Actually, it's really been over the past 2 days, and I've been going down these, I guess there's the things called drama channels on YouTube, which I didn't know about. And there is beauty industry infighting amongst the beauty gurus, and it's just a whole world of stuff that I didn't know existed. And there is this I had this bizarre fascination for it. I don't know. And so last night I was watching the likes of characters like and I'm late to the party, and I'm okay to be late to the party. Like, do not worry, I'm okay to be late to the party for sure. I don't even know if I want to be at this party, but it was just interesting to me. I mean, I do want to be at this party. Like, don't get me wrong, I want to be on YouTube. I love the platform, but there's a lot of people that are, you know, the top trending stuff, and it's like, really, this is what America watches. So it was just sort of fascinating. Maybe my end. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Kelly. Are you making a comment about my bottom? About my bottom? So, yeah, it was just funny. I was watching like the Little Tay scandal. I don't know if you all know about this because you might have lives, but the Little Tay scandal that happened last year with the 9-year-old girl from Canada who was lying and flexing, and I was just in it, like, shocked. Like, or as they say, I guess the word on YouTube is shook. I was shook. And so, it's just weird. Anyways, I was up way too late last night, so I'm a little bit tired. So this this broadcast may suffer for that. I could not fall asleep last night. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if I was all wrapped up in their drama watching it on YouTube, or if it was just something that's going on, because I was wide awake at 3:40 in the morning. Okay, let me get this together for today's forecast. I'll just share this out to groups, get my shit together, because I am a little tired. That's okay. We've all known that for a while now. You're not really living if you're not a little tired, right? I guess. There's just a wild. Oh, I didn't. Shit. There we go. There was just a wide array of characters on YouTube that I was unaware of, and so I was finding myself going down the rabbit hole watching them. If anybody wants to talk about them offline, I'm happy to do that. Apparently. I mean, there's this girl named Woe Vicky. She's kind of amazing. I love me some Bad Girls Club, right? And so I found like Bad Baby, which we all know about Danielle Bregoli, though. How about that girl? Or Call Me Out, Catch Me Outside girl. And so I was watching her, and she's becoming like come into this sort of like mini mogul status. But she has a beef with a girl named Woe Vicky, who I guess came up after her on YouTube and is doing sort of things in a similar vein, trying to, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure because I just found all this shit last night, and it was like, I love me a good ratchet chick. Woe Vicky to me is all that, and it's just it's a weird universe, people. Sometimes I'm not sure if I should be afraid of where the world is going, or it helps to make me understand why we're in the state that we're in, because this is sort of what the children are watching, so to speak. This is the new way that TV is sort of being projected. It's like, I don't know. It's just different. It's very interesting. And I was caught up in Little Tay and Woe Vicky and JoJo Siwa and all of these children of YouTube. They're not necessarily children, don't get me wrong, but all these people on YouTube that are doing their thing, and it's just like, oh, okay. And then there's people commenting and creating whole videos around what these people are doing to each other that perpetuates it, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know that, I didn't know all that was going on the platform. So I was watching it last night and learning about it, and just sort of surprised. Anyways, so that's why I'm a little bit, like, tired this morning, because I was up way too late giving that my attention, which, although Bo Vicky's kind of funny, I know there's something about her I really like. She's, I think, to be honest, and I don't know if this is true, I probably shouldn't even talk about her, but to be honest, I'm not sure if she's stoned in some of her videos. I think she might be. And she's just she's funny. She's an interesting person, I guess. I don't really know what to think. I'll have to watch more and get back to you guys on my full. Actually, see, this is the whole thing. This is what YouTube becomes about. It's like people posting their opinions about other people, and it's just sort of strange to me. I'm not here to do that, and I need to remember that. And as much as these guys are interesting to watch, and I understand, I mean, I myself got totally sucked in last night. I need not to give that my attention. That's not why I'm here. Excuse me. I am here to do readings. Although, it would be fun to read some of these people. It would be fun to read some of these people. I'd be interested in giving them readings, just to see what their deal is. I don't read people third party without their permission, but if anybody like Woe Vicky, JoJo Siwa, Lil Tay, Shane Dawson, any of them want readings, I'm here for you. Boos. I would love to read you all. Just see what's going on in your life, in your energy, in your future. Is it real? Is it not? Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star, I think, is legit. Like, I think he is who he portrays himself to be, with a little bit of embellishment for the cameras, but that's part of his thing. But there's just a whole cast, an array of folks out there that I was unaware of. And I find them interesting. But I don't know. Maybe they don't need to change their energy. They seem to be living that life. They about that life, as they say. Alright, let me get back to what I'm doing. Let me share this out to groups. Sorry, I'm sort of tired today. I was up too late being a douche. Or watching other people be douches to each other. And just kind of in shock. It's like, this is what kids are doing today on the internet? I guess I'm just not in the loop. And I was getting a little caught up. And I think that I'm getting caught up because this could happen to me if I stay on YouTube. In the sense that I got my first, I'll talk about this, I shouldn't even really give this press, but I got my first kind of hater the other day. Somebody just randomly came by and commented on one of my videos and said something about my ego because of the angel wings, and said something about these tarot, I'm so sick of these tarot readers masquerading, these egomaniacs masquerading as tarot readers. Something about the angel wings, and then why don't you nail yourself to a cross? And I was like, wow, that's nice. And the best part is they posted it on a video that the message was all about respecting themselves so that they could then go out in the world and respect others from a really authentic place. And I was sort of like, oh, well, apparently you didn't watch the video that you commented on. But it kind of, I don't know, and now I'm getting this lesson where I'm sort of going, I'm seeing some of what's out there on YouTube, what's popular on YouTube, what people are watching, and it's a little bit shocking. And I am shooketh, as Jeffree Star would say. I am shooketh, or I am shook. I'll put the if on it. Alright, so we're all shared out to groups. Let's do... It is really raw. Lisa Vanderhelm over on Facebook is saying some of it's really raw. It's crazy, and it draws you in because of its rawness, and it's so sort of shocking. And then, you know, you're just like, did that really go on? And my thing is I was sitting there trying to use my spidey senses and my intuitive thing where a lot of it's put on, even on YouTube, which you think because it's people with a camera, you think that it's real. But a lot of it is, you know, like the whole... thing is even like somebody that's a positive influence like Jojo Siwa, to me I feel like a large aspect of who she is about that image to get those followers to... It's strange. It's a really strange with Instagram and everything that we're doing. It's so, because I come from a different generation where we didn't have all of that. Like I remember the friggin' rotary phone that like most of the millennials don't know how to use, and so I'm adapting as best I can and trying to be a part of this culture and sort of figure things out and move along in it, because I don't think I'm that old. But there is this aspect to it where what is that thing that's going on right now, that like oh boomers thing? Like maybe I'm having an oh boomers moment or whatever, where you know, maybe my love stops at the lady fighting with the cat, like that sort of stuff. Those memes, because they're so prolific and some of them are hilarious, the fact that so many people create them, and I even created one myself, and it restores my faith in humanity, right? That everybody can bandwagon around this random thing and take these two pictures, blend them together, and create whole jokes around it. That, to me, I think is sort of amazing, although there is the controversy of that it was a very painful moment for Taylor, the woman that's screaming in the picture. But I don't think that anybody did it with malintent. Where I was watching this one girl last night, her name is Eugenia Cooney, and I actually subscribed to her channel because I felt like, I don't know, like even out of all of this sort of cast of characters that I sort of came upon last night, and I was watching video after video, I felt like she was the most sort of, one of the most more genuine and raw ones. The hard part about watching her, she's extremely thin. And I'm not here to talk about anything about what her issues are or whatever, but it's uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable to see how thin she was, because it seems sort of dangerously thin, right? That's I think, a very diplomatic way to put it. And she's a very sweet girl. And then there's people that just are really mean to her. And I think that it's weird. I was watching her and I was feeling this strange energetic thing that was going on with her where I sort of felt like, as thin and as frail as she looked, and as vulnerable as she is on this camera, she's stronger than most because she goes out there and she puts herself out there for this public consumption and this public ridicule in such a raw and vulnerable way, excuse me, that I felt both inspired by her, yet also sad, or like my heart was breaking in some ways, like because they were treating her this way. And like I said, I'm not here to talk about whether she's sick or not, but her body, like the just when you see her body, it's sort of jarring. I'm just gonna be honest. But anyways, that's me having an opinion on somebody else, and I don't want to do that. But I think there's a lot of that going on this platform. It's really bizarre. Anyways, I think she's a bright spirit. That's the thing that I want to get down to the bottom of this. I actually commented on just a video. I just went and found a video of hers, her most recent video, and I commented on it. And I told her, I said, I think that you're a very bright spirit, and that what you do every day takes a lot of strength, a lot more strength than most of probably the people that just cruise by and hit her with something like, you're gonna die, bitch, or whatever it is that they're saying, because they're saying really awful things to her. And it's just a strange culture. The internet is, I guess I've been using it more this last year to try and build my business and to try and make a difference. And then when I look at sort of, this is the arena that I've walked into, I feel like, and it's also what is, not only is it popular, but it's what is like the desired goal. And I'm not saying this about Eugenia per se, but I'm like talking about like the money and the houses and the cars and the all of that stuff is like this sort of funny carrot that's dangling on the end of a string that I think that in young impressionable minds are looking at. And even my mind last night was like caught up in watching it and sort of blown away by it all. And I just didn't even know what was going on. You know, like I'm not, other than broadcasting on YouTube and searching things, specific things, like a music video or, maybe watching the odd Ellen something or other or whatever. I just didn't know this stuff. There's this whole world out there. The whole thing called TanaCon, like, and a big drama around that, which I watched the Fry Festival movie on Netflix, and if you've never watched it, you should watch it because it is amazing and gut churning at the same time. And it's totally like about this millennial culture of creating this image or this sort of mystique around something via social media, and people begin to think that it's real. They begin to think that's what's going on. And I think that there's something going on with this whole YouTube culture where some of these kids are really major. They have major platforms where they're able to reach a lot of people and do a lot of change and good. And I don't think they realize it. I actually think that some of them, like Eugenia, is actually, even though she is a bit startling, I don't want to say she's startling to look at because it's just weird. I think that she's a genuine, sweet soul, and it's just sad that she's beaten like that on beaten down like that on YouTube. It just makes me think, it's just strange. It's a strange new world, and I guess I'm learning. And maybe this learning or this focus is preparing me for something. I don't know. That first little hit of hate the other day, I didn't really give it much. It's sort of like I was like, oh, wow, nail myself to a cross. Oh, that's kind of nice. It's kind of whatever. But you can't give that your attention. But then I started giving my attention to others that are on this platform in a much bigger way, that are probably in much more vulnerable positions than me. And just the reaction, I was like, wow. So I don't know. I mean, I know that there's good people, and there's a lot of good people, and there's nothing wrong with any of these people that I've mentioned. I just think that there's uh, a circus factor to it a little bit. There's a chaotic factor to it that pulls in viewers that I'm just sort of like, whoa, this is the ideal, this is the goal, this is the... And all these kids are like getting houses and moving to LA and living the life, and it's just like, whoa. And then there's other kids out there watching it. So, how do you... I don't know. The arena, good way to put it. Right, Jen Nichols? I don't know if you guys know any of these people that I'm talking about, but it's a whole cast of characters. And there's like whole entire, they're in the news. There's news channels on YouTube about these people and what's going on in their lives. And so that means that there's people watching, and these people have subscribers, you know, like in the millions, right? And it's like, it's a whole nother world that I didn't know about in some ways. You know, I'm like sitting here with my 300 viewers going like, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And then, thinking like I want to be on this, and I do want to be on this platform, don't get me wrong, but if I'm here, I want to be doing good. Like, and I'm not saying that these people are doing bad, but it's like, at a certain point you have to ask yourself, like, what are you offering? And I don't know. I'm not saying that they're not offering me anything. Like, I was entertained watching Whoa Vicky last night, but, and I was shocked watching, like, you know, some of the Little Tay stuff. And even like the JoJo Siwa stuff was shocking to me, because she's so branded out in sparkly stuff, and she is so marketed to like girls 5 to 9, and she is 16, and there's something just, I don't think her message is bad, but there's something really strange and stunted in there, in that energy, and it's being pumped to children in this candy-coated sort of like, she's shaking her ponytail, and it's like she's a fucking robot or something. And I'm not saying anything about her personality or that she's a bad person. It's part of the game, but it's this weird... Maybe I watched too many Shane Dawson conspiracy theory videos, but it's this weird sort of candy-coated pill that everybody is swallowing, and it's not too sweet. Anyways, let's get to the forecast. Let's clear all those people away. These are my new YouTube neighbors. Hi! Wild kids. And let's do the 3 breaths. Let's bring ourselves to now, in the present moment. Sorry I went down that road. I was just on it till 3 a.m. last night, which I'm an old man. I do not stay up past, 10. So, for me to stay up watching that and I was like just into it. I was in it to win it. Like, I could not get myself out of the rabbit hole. I was like, okay, you need to turn this off. You cannot watch Jeffree Star put on another highlighter on those like cheekbones of death. I mean, he is just like, and so I'm like, and I nothing against Jeffree Star. He's amazing to watch and listen to him talk, but it's like, I don't even wear makeup. So what am I doing watching makeup tutorials at? I don't care about these cosmetic lines, but I was just watching him from a pure point of fascination, and maybe that's the hook. They fascinate you. It's wild. All right, so let's get out my bad girl clap. I'm gonna clap this energy away. This is an homage to Whoa Vicky, to Bad Baby. This is to heal their beef. Let those two ratchet girls come together, and I want to see a better world. I want her and Little Tay and JoJo Siwa. I want all these girls to come together and lift each other up, not tear each other down. Let's say a prayer for them all, because they have mass followings of young girls that are watching them and wanting to cultivate and be like them. So let's bring that into their awareness, and let's place our hand on our body, bring ourselves into this moment, and join me in the 3 breaths, please. Let's take in that first breath deep through the nose into the belly, and we're going to hold for a few seconds and allow that oxygen to permeate our bloodstream and our brain. I certainly need it. I think I burned off quite a few brain cells last night. So inhale with me. And hold. Emanate that light, that ever important light. That true essence of who you truly are. Imagine your chakras lining up and just going to a place of ease, and release that breath. Giving thanks for the body in whatever state it's in, right? No judgment, just allowing it to be. Just being thankful for all that it does for us. And let's take in that second breath. And hold. And just push that light out just a little bit more. Allow it to emanate out to the outer edges of our body. Continue to see your chakras adjusting into a place of, optimum state and ease for today. Release that breath. Giving thanks to the mind for all that it does. Seeing it in support and grace with the body. And the body in support and grace with the mind. Bringing the two together, acknowledging them both, and being in gratitude for both of them. Let's take in a third breath. And hold. And emanate that light out past your body, out into your aura. This is who you truly are. This is the beauty and authenticity of you. Adjust your chakras. Any last minute touches and release. Giving thanks to the spirit and all that it does for us or for you. Seeing it come in line with the body and the mind, in support and in grace and ease with those two other components. All three being on equal sort of standing with one another and in support of each other, in love with each other, in connection to each other in this present moment. Let's just breathe that in for a moment. And when you're ready, let's open your eyes. I hate to say this, but as I was doing that, it felt really good. I think that a lot of what I was watching last night took me way far away from my body and way into other people's stuff. So, hi John. Has the couch auction started? John Balzarini, what is that about? I feel like I remember that joke, the couch auction. What is that about? That's like from last year, isn't it? Weren't we talking about auctioning a couch? Hi, Lyrical Bang, how are you? Billy Tilly, good morning. The couch? Oh, this happened before. You guys showed up to troll me about a couch at some point. Like last year. Didn't this happen this time last year? Something about a couch for sale in the marketplace. Y'all are weird. This is the shit that makes me... It's like, it restores my faith in humanity because it shows that people still have a sense of humor. It's just so funny. No, Billy Tilly, the wings are not part of the couch that I've listed for sale. I am keeping the wings. They're actually attached to my back, Billy. They're heavy as all get out, but they are attached to my back. I love how your parents named you in rhymes. That's really sweet, Billy Tilly. That's cute. I just want to like, Billy Tilly right under your chin. So, Spirit, please bring me the cards that best represent for all of those that are watching today on December 11th, 2019. For those that are not only watching now live, but those that will tune in the future at any point in time. Mom, can we get on the couch auction? Harley, honey, I think you've been on enough couches. You might want to get off them and maybe go take care of those babies that you got, girl. Because the government shouldn't have to pay for them. If you maybe spent less time on the couch and maybe actually went to work doing it, you wouldn't have to be buying used couches off the Amazon marketplace. Just saying. Shanti sent me. Y'all are nuts. Cash me outside, yo. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Adam, big oof. We've got a bunch of, well, it's not even a bunch of viewers in here. It's just a bunch of people that want a couch. So, I don't know. Maybe they need a psychiatrist couch. That might be the couch they need to be looking into. I'm just saying. It's happening. This is why I'm watching these people on YouTube, I think. Just to get used to this culture. Because they are out there. And I think that some of it is meant in good fun. But some of it is just mean-spirited. Not this stuff. This couch shit to me is funny. But, like, some of the stuff that I saw last night that they were saying to that poor girl, it's just like, oof, not okay. There's a level of, like, yuck factor or low vibration that's just sad to me. How much for the couch? I don't have how much for sale, you guys. Oh. Alright. Alright. So let's look at the, instead of the couch, we're gonna look at the card, guys. Oh my god, shut up! It's back. Wow. Alright, so this is from yesterday. Like, for those of you that are here for the couch, you're just gonna have to hold while I do this video and let me get this message out, and then I can actually take your inquiries about the couch, okay? So if you just hold tight, this is an important message. There's, this is the grief card. This is the Nine of Swords. This is about people that are, like, those of us that are stuck or that are feeling pain. Those of us that are, like, in our own grief and we don't know what to do. Those of us that like need help with those sort of situations, we might want to ask for some assistance or some help, maybe have some sort of contact in a real way that actually gets us unstuck from wherever it is that we're at. Because mentally, it feels like this card is centered around a sadness, a pain, maybe not feeling like we've been treated fairly in our lives, maybe feeling like we really have gotten a raw deal over the years. But I feel like this this card showing up 2 days in a row really says to me that there might be some serious work that we're doing around our grief, around our anger, around like all of these thorns to me. They represent sort of different aspects, different memories that we're holding that cause us pain and that cause us sadness. This poor mouse here, he looks really stuck. He actually looks like he's kind of dead, you know, and it's sad to me, but there are a lot of people that are so afraid of dealing with their grief or dealing with their sadness, dealing with the pain of their past, that they would rather walk around maybe like sort of a zombie mouse or, you know, be bothered, by, like, they would be so stuck in such pain that they can't necessarily get beyond it, right? And free themselves from it. And like what I said yesterday is this bird to me sort of represents the idea of outside help, or the idea of sort of, you know, if we just change our perspective, if we just turn ourselves around and we look, we could very easily either have the opportunity to help ourselves within our own lives, within our own thoughts, within our own belief systems, or we could, you know, have someone else outside of us like that we could rely on, trust, or, you know, let them see what's really going on, and and they might be able to give us that assistance, that help that we need to sort of get us out of this thorny place that we're at. That is sort of indicative of grief and pain, right? These barbs here are not easy. They keep people away from us, right? So when we're maybe looking for a couch for sale or whatever it might be, it might be that we're doing that from a place of humor, but sometimes I certainly was somebody that used humor for many years to keep people away from me, to keep them away from like sort of touching anywhere close to what I would consider to be vulnerability in my life. So to me, this message sort of speaks to the fact that there might be a lot more people in a lot of pain and a lot of more like mental anguish than they would want to let on. Um, that they would want others than what they would want others to see. But the truth is that, and I've said this before, when we're at our truest form of vulnerability, that's when we're in our largest amount of strength. And that's kind of what I was saying about that YouTuber, that girl Eugenia Cooney. To me, she's very vulnerable as she puts herself out there on her channel, and people sort of take that for granted and abuse that, and it's just sad. And so, to me, this is about, do we turn around? Do we allow ourselves off the hook? Do we allow ourselves to really look at? And I think maybe that's some of what I'm sort of tripping on, is that there's a lot of people that are unwilling to look. There's a lot of people that are unwilling to sort of deal with the thorns of their own mind. So they turn those thorns out into their sort of world or their environment, and they turn them on others, right? And that's part of the problem with, I think, where the world is at right now, is we're so focused on, ourselves and where we're at, and we look at these thorns and the past pain that we've been through, and we operate from this place that we're not okay. And so we're, in essence, to me, it's sort of like we're slowly killing ourselves, right? We're slowly deadening our experience to a degree. There's opportunities here, like with this bird, for us to allow others in, or allow ourselves to be seen, or allow ourselves to even free ourselves. If, say, we're lone wolves, I said this yesterday, I believe, too. If we're like lone wolves, maybe we don't have a lot of access to people in our lives. Like I myself don't necessarily allow a lot of people in. If you're like me in that way, that's okay. That bird can represent as a part of you, or an aspect of your spirit or soul that is available to you, that can help you to sort of get you out of the place that you may be in, that might be bothering you or giving you anguish, right? So think about that today as we go forward into today. I want to pull, before I shuffle the next card, I just want to ask Spirit really quick for further clarification of this card. Why are we seeing this card twice in 2 days? Out of 78 cards, why is this grief card coming? I mean, I certainly get it that, are these gluten-free, Mike Honcho? They are. They actually are gluten-free. Pete Schultz says he's here for the toaster. Oh my god, you guys are nuts. Is the dolphin meat still available? You guys are horrible. Oh my god. Couch, couch, couch. Alright, so let's ask for further clarification as to what's going on here with this card, this Nine of Swords. I certainly feel like these guys are trying to give me grief with the dolphin meat and toasters, but so it's funny that this grief card shows up today. That would be something that I would look at for myself. But I also think that if they listen to this message, they might understand that there's some stuff probably in their lives and in their minds that could use some work. I mean, not to overstep any boundaries, but they are here. So I'm going to let them sort of in on this reading if they want to come in and listen. But, and as I said yesterday too, like this 9 says to me that there's a closeness to it being completed if we want to do the work. But this mouse to me looks really scared. It looks like it's probably been stuck for a while as I'm looking at this card, and it probably doesn't necessarily know how to actually spin itself around and get the help that it needs, or get itself unstuck. And the thing is that the branch to me is sort of like the aspects of our mind, swords being the element of air and the intellect, which there isn't much in the room today, but the swords being representational of the intellect. Those thorns say to me that our own mind is our worst enemy at times, and we need help. Wow. So look at who's here. It's the Five of Swords. It's the adversary card. It's the woodpeckers that we saw earlier this week. And speaking of woodpeckers, we have a bunch of peckers in the room right now. It's amazing. But this is, to me, again, like we have this strength of the tree and this grounding of the tree. And this card being adversary says to me, and again, I'm going to say this like I saw this in the card the other day. There's actually, which I didn't notice this the other day, there's a snake crawling out of the hole of this card. And these adversaries are sort of like pecking away at the tree. And the tree to me is sort of grounded and centered. And these birds, these woodpeckers, are sort of, they're temporary, right? So I think that all of this in the Nine of Swords that we see here, this grief, it can be as temporary as we allow it to be. We can either turn it into an adversary, or we can sort of allow ourselves to know that, you know, sooner or later, this too shall pass. And that we can go through all kinds of stuff. I mean, if we look at these thorns, this signifies that we have already been through the ringer. Throughout our lives, we've already had our fair share of not only outside environmental experiences that have affected us in a way, but that's maybe been painful or unpleasant, but we've also had some self-induced situations where our own thoughts maybe have worked against us. But this Five of Swords says to me that we have to be remember that we are um, stronger than that. We are able to withstand whatever kind of our mind maybe throws at us, whatever sort of adversaries may come our way, we can deal with them, even if they're adverse situations that feel like they're outside of our control, or they feel like, how do I want to say this? Like they're maybe not self-created or of our own mind. They might be outside of us, completely separate from us. They are only temporary. And again, like with that Nine of Swords, it being so close to the 10, it says to me that we will approach completion at some point. It's just really up to us when we decide to complete. Like when we decide to unhook ourselves, when we decide to allow ourselves to stop running from our own pain and address it, instead of maybe living from it and creating more grief in our environment because of it, right? So let me look at the next card. This is from the Song of My Heart deck. And you can follow the artist at Hand Me That Pencil on Instagram. So this card is I am at peace. Gentle power starts within me, like the Clutha River begins as Lake Wanaka. So I think that this is beautiful because she has her back turned and she's at peace. And so I think that when I'm looking at these cards, this sort of being about the intellect, this element of air, the swords, sort of, you know, other people sort of coming in or trying to pierce us, or even our own thoughts trying to pierce us, trying to keep us hung up on a sort of maybe a tape or an idea that we have stuck in our head that we only deserve so much, or that we have to be a certain way. If that's holding us back and leaving us in a place of grief, if there's sort of loved ones around us that have certain expectations of us that make us feel that we're sort of stuck, or that put us into that position of grieving, we need to remember that we are stronger, that these adversaries and these things in our lives are temporary, right? They will sort of take off, or they will sort of fly away, at some point, and they will change. That's definitely here in this Nine of Swords, right? If we remain centered and strong, and we really look and face what we've got going on, we can find ourselves with a sense of being at peace. Really are. And I think that that's what everybody really wants in the world, ultimately. I mean, I think that's what we all seek, is that peace. Aside from peace, I believe that every individual at a very deep level seeks validation. And they go about it in different ways of achieving that. But everybody wants to be validated on a very deep level, and everybody wants sort of their own sense of peace. I think from that validation, we can also gain that peace. But I like this card because she has her back turned, and she is still sort of vulnerable to whatever is going on around her. But the truth is that she doesn't necessarily have to give it her attention or her worry. That she can walk through this and understand that she's strong enough to face any of it. With her back turned, there is a sort of vulnerability, but there's also, again, like I said, in our vulnerability can be this truest form of strength. There's also a strength here and an awareness and a belief in herself that we see in this tree in the Five of Swords that says that she is centered, she is at peace, and she can take care of her own stuff no matter what happens, and she can move forward in that. With her back turned, it sort of feels like she's moving forward in whatever it is that she wants and moving towards a goal versus, say, moving away from it. So, to me, I like that she's at peace, and I think that we need to give ourselves that, but sometimes we have to face the things that sort of make ourselves feel uncomfortable, or so that we can actually see how strong we are, how some of those experiences or some of what these thorns represent to me, some of the harder things that maybe that have happened to us in our pasts, how although they may have been unpleasant in that moment, and they may sometimes haunt and dictate our behavior now in how we operate in the world, when we actually stop and look at them and own them from a place of like wanting to heal them and feel them, we can actually attain that peace. We can, you know, create that peace for ourselves instead of like running from it or trying to create more havoc in our lives so that we can avoid what is deep at a deeper level, truly bothering us. So the grounding stone for today is the word wealth. So this is an idea to sort of center in and think about as you go throughout your day. And so the wealth aspect of this is, to me, it doesn't necessarily mean monetary wealth. I mean, I'm going to make a lot of money once I sell this couch, but what I'm talking about is more like a wealth of knowledge about oneself, a wealth of feeling good about oneself, a wealth of self-esteem. Those would be things that I would want to think about today. Those would be things that I would want to ground in today. Where is my wealth at today, as far as what do I have an abundant amount of within myself? Not necessarily outside of myself, but within myself. Do I have joy in my heart today? Do I have the ability to love others today? Do I have the ability to love myself today? Right? Like, that is a form of wealth. That's a form of wealth that's like, they talk about how um, money can't buy me love, right? The Beatles song. But it's true. It's like, do you have that love within yourself? And I think that today, with these swords cards, it's an opportunity for us to kind of look at where are our thoughts? Where are our experiences? Where do those things sort of maybe pin us up or fuck us up or hold us back in our lives? Because we want to be at peace. And if we address them, we ground in them, we center in them, and we allow sort of, like, we don't run from them per se, right? We allow for us not only to attain this sense of peace, but we also allow for ourselves to find that wealth that is within us, that is like at a deeper emotional level, that is at a deeper mental level, that is at a deeper spiritual level. And from those three aspects, I really believe that that brings us into more physical health and more connection with our own selves. And then we're less apt to be at odds with what's going on in our environment around us. Our environment begins to change and how it operates with us because we have begun to change how we operate within ourselves, right? So that is my forecast for the day. I think that thank you, Ducky. That is my forecast for the day. You guys go out into the day sort of thinking about maybe where you're at, what might be causing you a little bit of grief, and then letting go of that, right? With this adversary card, to me, it feels like it's just that. They're just like temporary adversaries. Don't let it get you down. And this could be like anything from family members or relationships at work, whatever. But they're only temporary. And I think that the thing is that they are there so that they can bring up in you um, opportunities to reflect and look at where maybe it gets under your skin or it doesn't, and then finding that peace from that. And from that, there is when you have that sort of peace, right? You have that wealth. You have that internal sort of vibration that is a sort of so good feeling that it doesn't necessarily get you down. You can actually bring that forward to into your like day-to-day life with you, and it's a sort of settled feeling. It's a comfortable in one's own skin feeling, and when you have that, it's kind of like I think that's another thing that we all seek is just feeling comfortable and safe in today's world. And so when we can provide that for ourselves, that's powerful energy. That's powerful magic. That creates powerful experiences, right? Where people can truly be in acceptance of themselves and own who they are and not have to be kind of ashamed of that, right? So, and I don't think that we live in a world that allows for that just yet, but we're working on it. So, this is our way of working today, if you choose to use this forecast. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the forecast. I'm sorry if I lost some of you due to the couch sales, but you know, mama's got babies to feed. You heard the babies barking, so I got to get this furniture sold. Um, uh, and I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. It is Wednesday, so you guys know what needs to be done tonight at 7:30. There will be a charming tonight, so feel free to stop by for that. And I will see you guys all tomorrow in the morning for the next forecast. I hope you guys enjoy your day and have a great night. I hope you guys are able to go into your thoughts today with a peaceful attitude and understand that the wealth is there for you, the opportunities are there for you, and just all we have to do is sort of turn around and let them in. All right. It's a charming couch, John. It is. It's a lovely couch. Come sit on it next to me. Come on, John. All right. Hey, Tracy Marie. Good morning. We just finished the forecast, so you're gonna have to watch it in replay. But uh, just that's where it is. All right. Bye, you guys. I will talk to you later. Have a good day. And I hope that all of the people that came by looking for the couch, I hope you all are able to find a couch for yourself somewhere. Sorry I don't have one for sale today. But, this whole forecast today is about staying in that mindset of wealth and opportunity. And so it will too happen for you one day. Okay? I love you all. Take care and have a great day. Bye.